the audience, man. I've been super busy. It's been going down, man. I'm talking about at work, building shows. You know what I do. But I haven't forgot about my passion. I don't know if you guys know if you've been keeping up with Rob's Two Cents. In the recent year, I got a chance to interview the legendary Ice Cube, me and my boy Mike Hughes. Shout out Mike Hughes, baby, and the whole ASAP Sport team, man. I want to tell you guys, man, it was an honor, it was a privilege to be able to sit in front of such a legendary icon. We're talking about the man who made Friday. I even joked with him. I said, my grandkids are gonna be quoting Friday. Everybody gonna know that Debo knocked red ass what we call the fuck out. But I'm glad to have you guys back. It's been a lot going on in the sports world. We've seen Team USA lose, and we've had some big boxing matches, super fights. I mean, Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence, and the ass whooping that Terrence Crawford put on old Errol. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if I'm excited to see the rematch, but we'll talk about that as the shows progress. Got a big boxing match coming up at the end of the month on the 30th between Canelo and Charlo. We're talking about the first time in boxing history that two undisputed champions from two different weight classes are going to clash and have it out. A lot to talk about, man. But before we get into all that, man, y'all want everybody to tune in. I want you to kick your feet up, man. Get your favorite drink, grab you some smoke, tune in to the hottest sports conversation in the nation. This is Rob's Two Cents. And we got to start off in the NFL. Everybody and their mama is glad that the NFL is back. Now, me personally, I'm not a big baseball guy. So at the end of June, when we're seeing basketball go away and we start to see the free agency moves happening in the NFL and we start to get ready for the NFL and the NBA draft, I'm really bored. I'm not gonna lie to you. I have nothing to watch. Thank God we had the FIBA games this year. I don't know what I would have did with my summer. But have no fear because the NFL is here. And we have seen an awesome week 1. Me personally, I didn't do too well in my fantasy league, so I need a good big bounce back game in week 2. But let me tell you guys something. We've seen some interesting things going on in NFL week 1. We saw some teams stand out in a good way. We've seen some teams stand out in a bad way. And I got to start off with the defending champions. I got to start off with the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, they went against the Detroit Lions in week 1 of the NFL opener of the NFL season. And we know that Chris Jones, he's been sitting out. That's one of their defensive studs. I mean, a big time reason that they won the championship last year. He's been sitting out through the contract negotiations. Of course, people want to get paid. And then we see right before the game happens during that week, Travis Kelsey goes down with an injury. So now you're without your best defender and your top gun, being Patrick Mahomes. And you got to go into this week 1 a little nervous. But these guys showed up and showed out, man. I have to say, Kansas City played a hell of a game. It really came down to I forgot the guy's name, Tony or something. Dropping passes. I mean, somebody put glue in the man's hands, man, because he dropped some wide open damn passes, and he even dropped the pass in the end at the end of the game. We thought that Pat Mahomes was going to be able to once again pull out another miracle. I mean, we've seen Patrick Mahomes. We've seen the look on Patrick Mahomes' face when he's down. He damn sure ain't out. I mean, his only kryptonite was Tom Brady, and guess what, ladies and gentlemen? He ain't here no more. So Patrick Mahomes is the top dog in the NFL. And even though they lost against Detroit, they put up a good fight. I'm not too much worried about the Kansas City Chiefs. They're gonna be right there in the thick of things once it's all said and done. But how about them Lions? How about the Detroit Lions? Showing up in week 1, riding off that momentum from last year. Remember, they're the reason that Aaron Rodgers ain't in Green Bay no more. Remember, Aaron Rodgers, his clutchness had been getting questioned. He lost against Tom Brady in the NFC Championship game. And then you get home field advantage, all that you've been screaming for. And then you lose against the goddamn 49ers with Jimmy G at the quarterback. You let Jimmy G outplay you? And then you got a chance after having a horrible season. You bounced back last year, and all you have to do is get past the Lions to get to the playoffs. And you couldn't even do that. So the Lions riding high off that momentum. Let me tell you guys something. Detroit might be one of them teams to look at. Jared Goff looked pretty good. They got that boy from Bama. They let go of Jamal Williams. I was worried about that. But they got that boy from Bama. He's out there running. And I just got to tell you, the Detroit Lions look pretty good. Also, who looked great in week one, we have to talk about the San Francisco 49ers. Now, Jimmy G ain't the leader no more. Oh, we in the Brock Purdy area now. And boy, do he throw such a Purdy ball. I mean, the boy is out there doing his thing for the 49ers. We know who the 49ers are. They got Brandon Ayuk, who had a monster game one. I mean, the Debo. We got Christian McCaffrey, C-Mac out there running over everybody, making these boys look foolish. I'm telling you, boy, San Francisco might be the team to beat in the NFC. I know we're gonna talk about the Cowboys and that ass whooping they put on the Giants. I mean, it was a no contest, and we were playing Mortal Kombat, pure flawless victory, 40-0. No chance. I think the Giants left their game, and all the great players still on the bus. Hopefully, they can show up in week two. And then I got to talk about my soft ass Care Bears. Yes, I don't want to even mention them in this topic, but I was so excited. Everybody who knows me know I talk sports 24/7. And with the guys who I like to have sports conversations with, we were talking about how the Bears might just do it. I'm not saying championship. I'm just saying at least win the North. That's all I'm asking. At least win the North. Aaron Rodgers is no longer there. You don't have to worry about Detroit having Jamal Williams. And Kirk Cousins, as we saw last night in Thursday Night Football, he plays good, but when the lights are the brightest, he just doesn't show up. So I'm like, if this is gonna be any chance for the Bears to win the North, it will be now. And what do? We come out there and we prove that our offensive line still sucks. Justin Fields is still getting pummeled. Justin Fields still needs. Now, I'm not gonna put everything on the offensive line. Justin Fields, you have to learn in the NFL, players don't just get open. You have to realize that you are playing the best of the best. And as an NFL quarterback, you have to throw your players open. You have to get them open. That's your job as the quarterback. That's your job as the captain of that offense. And Justin Fields is holding on to the ball entirely too long. He looks down his receivers. He doesn't give great check downs. I mean, he stares down the receiver he wants to give the ball to. Hell, my big ass can go out there and go get an interception. I mean, he's literally letting you know who he's about to throw the ball to. So, I mean, Justin Fields, man, you have to learn. I want to see a little bit more of the Ohio State Justin Fields come out like we saw when you had that miraculous game against Clemson, when you went out with the injured ribs and you came back in the game and you still won that game and you got the cover of Sports Illustrated. That's the Justin Fields I need to see. Justin Fields, I need you to step up. And then we got to talk about the game last night. We saw in game two because Eagles, they took care of the competition in week one, and we got to see them last night go against the Minnesota Vikings, exclusively on Amazon Prime. We know the deal that the NFL has with Amazon. And let me tell you, it was a great game. Started off a little rocky, a little shaky. I mean, neither team could score. Neither team was really moving the ball that well. And then the Eagles start to hit their stride. We saw two touchdowns ran in by Jalen Hurts, who's just a touchdown machine as a quarterback. We saw Stromile Smith have over 160 yards rushing with the touchdown as well. And we just saw not your usual suspect, not A.J. Brown, but the other receiver, the two receiver, and Devontae Smith have a monstrous game, including the reception touchdown of itself. And Minnesota tried to make a game of it at the end. But I mean, once you let somebody come out and jump on you from the get go, it's kind of hard to get yourself back in the game. And the Eagles played a hell of a game yesterday. To me, honestly, I think your usual suspects is gonna come down to that again in the NFC. We're talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're talking about the 49ers, and then we're talking about the Eagles. I think those are your three teams to beat in the NFC. And in the AFC, I have to give shout outs to the Dolphins, man. When we saw Tua go down last year with some horrible concussions, cut his season short. He was able to come back. Those two monsters of receivers he have in his backfield. And we're talking about Tyreek Hill, the speedster, and Jalen Waddle. And speaking of speedster, did you see what Tyreek Hill did? The man had over 200 yards catching in the air along with two touchdowns. You want to talk about catch me if you can because you can't? The man was playing out of his mind. And I have to say, right now, Miami and the AFC looks like the team to beat. Now the Bengals didn't look like themselves either. I mean, they couldn't do anything. But I'm not worried about the Bengals. We saw them have this start last season where I was saying, are they overrated? And then the Bengals picked it up and was able to get themselves back into playoff contention during as the season progressed. So I'm not too much worried about the Bengals, and I'm not too much worried about the Ravens. However, they did just lose J.K. Dobbins to an Achilles injury, their running back. And let me tell you something: you do not want to put Lamar Jackson in a position where he has to be the rusher and the quarterback. You want to make sure you help him out to the best of his ability. You don't want to put Odell Beckham Jr. in harm's way, considering the fact he just came back from an injury as well. So it's a lot of things, a lot of unanswered questions with the Ravens, of which I can't put them at the top of the top. But when it comes to the AFC, of course, I'm not going to doubt the champs and the Kansas City Chiefs. And as I just mentioned, I think Miami right now, with that defense and the way that they are rocking and rolling, I question their rushing attack. But when you got Tyreek Hill and you got Jaden Waddle out there, I don't think you have too much to worry about. Right now, we're in some exciting times for the NFL, and I can't wait for week 2 to wrap up next week. Hopefully, your boy can win a little money on FanDuel. That's between me and you. That's just between me and you. I might share my picks if I win. I'll let you know. But let's keep the show going, man. I don't want to keep you guys here all night, man. We got to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart. And I don't know if you guys know Coach Prime and the impact that this guy has had on college football and, of course, the team he coaches for, the Colorado Buffaloes. And let me tell you something, man. I am proud as a black man to watch what Coach Prime has done. We saw a lot of people, doubt the man, considering the fact he came from Jackson State University. We know Jackson State University is not a top school in the NCAA league. We know they're the SWAC league. They don't really look at HBCUs as the top of the top, as the creme de la creme, I would like to say. And we know that he bought his luggage with him, and he said it was Louis, and goddamn it, I don't think he lied, because what Deion Sanders, what Coach Prime has been able to do with this Colorado organization, with NCAA college football in general, has been spectacular. We saw in week 1 in NCAA football, they beat TCU. Remember, TCU, in case you guys didn't know, they were in the National College Championship game last year, of course, losing to Georgia. But that just shows you the type of caliber of competition that the Colorado Buffs were playing. Everybody had Colorado losing. Everybody had TCU destroying them, had TCU dogging them. And we saw what they were able to come out and play a close game with TCU, eventually winning 45-42, and then on the week 2, destroying Nebraska, beating them down. And I just got to give a shout out to my boy Shador. Let me tell you guys something. What Shador Sanders has been doing has been simply amazing. We look at week 2 against Nebraska. The man throws for 393 yards, 2 touchdowns in the year, no interceptions, 31 of 42, having a monstrous game as only Shador knows how to do. But what really stuck out to me was week 1. And if we look at week 1, what Shador was able to do against TCU, against Texas Christian University, it was simply amazing. Shador was 38 of 47 in the air, throwing for 510 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, breaking a Colorado school record, becoming the first quarterback to throw for 4 touchdowns and over 500 yards in the game. And let me tell you guys something. I saw who Colorado was before Coach Prime got there. I was looking at their stats earlier, and they was a horrible team. And now to bring in Coach Prime and to bring in his son at quarterback, who has been getting trained by Tom Brady, by the way, throwing for 500 yards and 4 tutties in the air against TCU in your first game with all the pressure on you. Everybody who watching Drives 2 cents, time to bring back your favorite segment, because Shador Sanders, that boy cold. And I think Shador is going to continue to have a great season. It's either going to come down to him, Caleb, or my boy Travis Hunter, who's also a two-way player who can not only catch a touchdown, but can defend you from getting a touchdown, who also happens to play for Colorado. Those are going to be my three top choices to win the Heisman Trophy. I'm telling you, Coach Prime said he bought his luggage and that it was Louis and he wasn't playing. And he waiting on the Uber Lux to go ahead and open the door up for him so that he can get to his next destination. I'm telling you guys right now, Colorado might be the real deal. And I'm just happy for Coach Prime. Happy to see the impact that he's having on these young men. As he's mentioned before, he's not just making football players. When you send your son or your grandson to Coach Prime as a boy, when he send them back to you, they are going to become a man, and they are learning life lessons in using the game of football as a teacher. And I'm telling you, man, the way that these guys react to Coach Prime, the way that they're ready to run through a brick wall for Coach Prime, I, to me, it's simply amazing. I'm happy to be able to witness this history. We see all these college coaches like Nick Saban. We see, what TCU head coach had to say about Coach Prime. We even seen they're about to play Colorado State this weekend, and we seen what that coach said about Coach Prime, talking about he was taught that men take off their hats and glasses when they're greeting other men. But let me tell you something, sucker. How do you know that I look at you as a man? I might have just started something with that. But Coach Prime said that it's personal. And Colorado State, best believe they taking it personal. And for anybody who hating on Coach Prime and the Colorado Buffs, remember, at this point in time, they are no longer coming. Pause that. They are here. And it looks like Coach Prime is here to stay. Now we're gonna see the next two games after Colorado State. They're gonna be going against Oregon and then going against USC. We're talking about a great quarterback matchup between Shador and Caleb. I can't wait to see it, and I hope you guys are here for the ride. And last but not least, we saw a tragedy happen. We saw for the first time in a long time that Team USA goes and play an international play and not win a damn medal. I mean, we couldn't even get bronze. I mean, they played so bad, I wouldn't even give them a participation award. That team disappointed me. Now we know this is not the usual suspects. These not your usual stars. This is not LeBron. This is not Steph. This is not KD. I get that we sent Anthony Edwards, the Jalen Brunson, Mikael Bridges. I get that. But at the same time, have a little pride about yourself. You are supposed to be the best of the best. And you can't even win a bronze medal losing to Germany. You lost to what was the team that they lost to? And the go that Canada? Now don't get me wrong now. I'm sorry. Now Shea Gildas Alexander, hey, that boy a dog. RJ Barrett, that boy a dog. But you let Dylan Brooks put 39 points on your tater top and you took that line down? Well, don't worry, y'all. I want you guys to read what is about to come across your screen. Put your hands on your hips and say, Lee Avengers, assemble. Because LeBron ain't gonna take that line down. LeBron saw that and was disgusted and immediately told reporters that he is interested, not just interested, very interested in representing Team USA in the 2024 Olympics out there in Paris, France. And let me tell you something, it's going to be magnifique because LeBron said he also bought his luggage with him, and it's Louis and Gucci because he gonna bring KD. He gonna bring the magnificent one known as Steph Curry. He said he bringing Tatum and Devin Booker and Damian Lillard and Kyrie said we coming too. We gonna ride with hell. Dwight Howard all the way in Taiwan said, hell, LeBron, don't forget about me. And let's not forget, Joel Embiid has just become officially a U.S. citizen. I just want to tell you, in 2024, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you in Paris, world, because you want to talk about us not being the world champs. We not just coming for the title, we coming for it all. We gonna get our respect back, and we gonna show y'all jokers, no pun intended, that we are the best of the best when it comes to this game of basketball. You understand me? And ladies and gentlemen, man, that's been my show. I appreciate y'all for coming back. Appreciate everybody who tuned in. I appreciate all the love and support. Everybody saying, Ron, when you bring it back to show? Did you forget about us? Of course not. I love y'all. I've been busy, but you never forget about your passion. Always make room for your passion because sooner or later, as the great Eric Thomas say, your passion will make room for you. I ain't worried about the money. The money will come. I have a great job. But sooner or later, this is going on. I'm going to be doing full time, and I just want y'all here for the ride. So I hope you guys have a good one. As I always say, you gotta make a goal. You gotta think about it. You make your goal. You set a goal, and then you execute. You have to have action behind your plan. And I'm always here to talk that good stuff in your ear. Hope y'all have a good night, man. And you already know the slogan, baby. We
There's a
go.
bigger fight going on. There's a much bigger agenda than the streets. And I know sometimes it's hard to see that far in front of us, but we have to look past the illusions, look past the delusions of grandeur, and look at the bigger picture. We need to become better versions of ourselves each and every day. Fight for what you believe in. Because if you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything. We just getting started, baby. You guys know the slogan now. Hope you all have a great evening. And we